It started with a dream, nothing fancy, nothing ambitious, just a quiet idea. What if I could build a small cabin in the woods? Not to escape the world, but to reconnect with it. No machines humming, no concrete jungles, no notifications, just wind through pine trees and the smell of fresh-cut cedar. Most people think building a cabin is about tools and timber. It's not. It's about patience, rhythm, and learning to listen to the land, to the weather, to yourself. When I first stepped onto the plot, it was pure wilderness. The ground was uneven, the trees were dense, and the silence was intimidating. But that's where it begins, in the mess. I started with a shovel, an axe, and a vision in my head. No blueprints, no professional crew, just sketches and stubborn will. The first phase was clearing and leveling. I spent days removing roots, stones, and debris by hand. Every swing of the axe felt like carving my future into the forest. By the time I had a level patch of ground, I already understood one thing. Nature doesn't care about your schedule. It moves slow, and if you want to build within it, you have to move with it. Then came the foundation, the make or break of any structure. I decided on simple concrete pier blocks because they're affordable, durable, and forgiving on uneven land. I measured each corner carefully, triple-checked diagonals for squareness, and dug down until the base hit solid ground. This part isn't glamorous, but it's critical. If the foundation's off by an inch, the whole cabin will remind you forever. Once the base was solid, I framed the floor platform using 2x8 treated lumber. I remember that first moment, standing on a wooden rectangle in the middle of nowhere, like a stage with the forest as the audience. That's when it hits you, I'm really doing this. Next came the wall framing, where things start to look like a real building. I cut every stud by hand. No fancy saw tables, just a circular saw, a speed square, and a pencil stub. You learn to love repetition, measure, cut, nail, repeat. Slowly, the skeleton of my dream took shape. I raised the walls one by one alone, using ropes and leverage. It was exhausting, clumsy, but unforgettable. Then came the roof, the hardest part of all. I chose a simple A-frame, strong, classic, and perfect for shedding snow. Balancing on ladders, lifting rafters solo, it tested every ounce of strength I had left. By the time the last ridge beam went up, I was covered in sweat and sawdust, but the silhouette of the cabin finally stood proud against the trees. Sheathing and weatherproofing came next. I nailed down plywood panels, sealed the gaps, and wrapped the structure with a moisture barrier. The walls started to feel solid. No longer just wood and nails, but protection from the world. I installed windows salvaged from an old farmhouse, slightly crooked but full of character. The door I built myself out of pine boards, planed smooth and reinforced with iron hinges. Every creak it made felt personal. Inside, I insulated the walls with recycled wool and lined them with tongue-and-groove cedar planks. The scent alone was worth the effort. Warm, earthy, almost spiritual. The floor was simple oak, sanded and oiled by hand. No machines, no shortcuts. Just time. For heating, I installed a small cast-iron wood stove. It wasn't new, I found it on a classified site and restored it. The first time I lit it, I watched the smoke curl out through the chimney and thought, this is what warmth really feels like. Not from a switch, but from effort. Then came the details. Shelves made from fallen branches, hooks forged from scrap metal, a single lantern hanging from the beam above. Every addition told a story. I didn't buy a cabin. I built it, and in the process, it built me. By the time the final nail was driven, months had passed. My hands were calloused, my back ached, but my soul was quiet. The kind of quiet you can't find in cities or screens. I sat on the porch that night, watching mist roll between the trees, and realized something. This cabin wasn't just a structure. It was a mirror, a reflection of patience, endurance, and self-belief. Because building from scratch isn't really about wood or nails. It's about proving to yourself that you can turn imagination into something that stands. And that's the real gift. Every time I wake up here, with the morning light spilling through rough-hewn windows, the fire crackling, and the forest breathing outside, I'm reminded that the best things in life aren't built fast or bought ready-made. They're earned, one cut, one mistake, and one victory at a time. If you ever get the chance to build something from scratch, do it. You'll learn more about patience, precision, and peace than any book could teach. Because when you build with your hands, you're not just shaping wood, you're shaping yourself.